Alright, welcome back, guys. This is the Danger Invoked Blue Eyes tutorial slash updated deck profile. I kind of wanted to try to hit everything that I haven't really talked about, just to kind of cover every single base. Why my card choices are the way they are, all that good stuff. And this is the first time I'm recording, on my computer. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, or dislike. I love all feedback. But anyways, without further ado, so we're gonna start off 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. I've rarely seen anybody play 2 of this card. It's just the heart and soul of the deck. Everything, is based off of it in some way, shape, or form. And then 2 alternative. The reason why I like 2 is because 3, in my opinion, really clogs, and you play Malefic Blue Eyes instead of the 3rd Blue Eyes, because you can only normal summon, or you can only special summon it once per turn. By its effect. So it's a lot better to have like both of these, especially since you're playing a field spell in the deck, and a lot of decks revolve around field spells anymore anyway. So I like the 2-1 ratio here. Plus, this is a dark to help with Chaos Dragon Legionnaire here, which is kind of the next card we're going to talk about. A lot of dragon decks, a lot of decks in general really play this. It's not just a dragon-based card. It's searchable in this deck. You can use any of the 3 effects pretty consistently with the way this deck is. So I just find this card to be very versatile in a lot of different situations. But just 1 though, I feel like any more than that, it'll clog. You've got plenty of ways to draw it or search it. You really, and there's a lot of times, especially early game, like it's not really good to have it in your hand anyway. So for the stones, I play 1 legend, or 1 ancient, 2 legends. I still find this ratio to be my favorite. Especially with the Galaxy Soldier package. This is kind of the card you want to draw into, because if you draw this with Melody, it combos off really nicely. You get alternative, get Malefic, get Legionnaire, and then get your Blue Eyes for free. So off the stone, so you'll literally go +1, and then same with the Galaxy Soldier. This and Galaxy Soldier is Infinity on its own, so 2-card combo. And that's why I don't play 3 Galaxy Soldiers. I've never needed the 3rd one, and even if you banish the Galaxy Soldier, or something happens to the Galaxy Soldier to where you can't make Infinity, he can still be used as a link material. So he's just never really as dead as he might feel. Obviously he can be, depending on the situation. And then next for the Invoked, I just played 2 Alistair. 3, I wouldn't mind playing 3, but 2 has just been working great for me, and I don't have a ton of room in the deck, so 2 works pretty good. And then for the Danger package, 2 Bigfoot and 2 Thunderbird for the level 8s. I feel like this ratio is just perfect. I don't really still want to see multiple copies of each, just because I don't really want to discard them unless I choose to. So, but yeah. And then 1 Nessie. He's link material. He's a searcher. He's kind of like the Whitestone Legend. This is kind of more my favorite preference, because you play Melody, discard the Nessie. Now you're getting 2 dragons and a danger. So that's kind of my favorite play to do there. But also, like I said, link material. If you want to switch up the extra deck, you can play Synchro. A level 8 Synchro with him. Or if you want to go with more level 7s, you can even make some rank 7s or whatever you want to do. And then I've also played Chupacabra and Mothman. There are a couple cards that I can think of that are floodgates, like that Spellcaster and the Fossil Dyna level 4 card that makes it to where you can't special summon. So if you get shut down that way, these are great normal summons to just kind of beat over it real quick and continue on with your plays. Chupacabra I find to be the most dead out of the 2, so if you wanted to take one of them out, I would suggest the Chupacabra. just because he's only really good like mid to late game. So, and then one Danger Jackalope, unfortunately got cut to 1. If he didn't get cut to 1, the Chupacabra would probably be another Jackalope. And then also with the Mothman that I like too is he's an extra draw, so he's kind of like a Dark World Dealings in a sense. So not too bad there. And then the final monster is the Gizmekarochi. This card is kind of my new Pot of Desires. I like this card a lot more. It floats a lot better. Helps you make your link monsters, your your overlays, your XYZs. Just really, really powerful. Pops cards, and 9 times out of 10 you can banish 3 extra deck monsters no problem. And that's kind of where I was referring to, like if you banish the Galaxy Soldier, it's not really a huge deal because you just link the other one away, or whatever you need to do, or discard it or whatever. So it's not usually too big a deal. But this card is kind of one of my new favorite cards, I'm not gonna lie. I love that card a lot. So now off into the spells. 1 Terraforming, and then the 2 Magical Meltdown. I don't want to play like 3 and 1, or even just 3 and no Terraforming. I'd rather be able to search, because 3 copies, like I don't want to see 2 of this in my opening hand, so I'd rather just stick to the 2-1 ratio that I have, and it seems to be working really well for me. 3 copies of Trade In, because you're playing what, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11 level 8s, 12 level 8s, so I mean you've got draw power for days there, and he's literally free. And then you can get their effects off with Trade In, so really super good. Like you can plus off of pretty much any of these, so and then 3 Melody, searches, kind of your main big boys up here, and then combos off real nice with like I said, like Nessie or White Stone Legend. And then 2 Meltdown, 1 Return of the Dragon Lords, just because I feel like when I play 2, I always see 2 like right at the beginning, and it really just kind of bricks. Like I don't know if I'm just that unlucky with it or what, but yeah, I like it at 1. It's a nice extender when it comes up, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So 1 Monster Reborn. They're again kind of super standard. Return of the Dragon Lords too, I also wanted to mention, like the protection effect. Duels really don't usually last, but what, more than like 3 turns anymore? 4 turns? I mean like 5 turns if it's really long. So like you don't really need to protect a lot of your stuff for very long. You know what I'm saying? You need to kind of like get to the kill, especially with this deck. I mean it's really easy to just OTK your opponent. So that's another reason why I play 1 of that. And then moving on, 2 Twin Twisters. The deck really doesn't like back row, and you can always side these out if it doesn't come up. Plus you can discard, if you discard your dangers, you'll get their effects off with this. You can discard him for practically free. Another thing that I kind of like is if you have a Galaxy Soldier, and you have like, say like the White Stone of Ancients, or just some random light monster in your hand, you can discard him with Melody or Twin Twisters, and then like Monster Reborn him to gain his effect. Another bonus to him as well, while I'm on the topic, is you can special summon him with Skull Dread to get the other one for free. Kind of a couple plays I've done before. 2 Invocation. I don't like 3 because it bricks, and I don't like 1 because it's just not enough. So I really like 2. Plus you don't really do a ton of fusion summoning with it anyway, so I mean it's pretty much just like a standard, like what you really need. So and then Raigeki, because it baits Ash Blossom, or not Ash Blossom, but it baits a lot of negates and stuff, because it's literally like forcing your opponent to negate it with a monster or something to keep going, because they're not going to want you to clear their whole board and then let you make your plays. So this could go out if you really want to. I mean, you can play Lightning Storm. The only thing I don't like about Lightning Storm is you literally have to have nothing on your field, which, if you draw into this and you've already got stuff on the field and you still need the board clearance, that's kind of the only thing I don't like about Lightning Storm. But I mean, play what you want. I don't knock it either way. And then for the last card in the main deck, one instant fusion. This is kind of like the same as Raigeki. I was playing 2 before this got limited to 1, but there again, because my one target is Thousand Eyes Restrict, and it's kind of like the same principle. You're going to suck up a monster going second. If you're wanting to focus it on going first, I'd play Millennium Eyes Restrict or El Shaddai Winda, just because those are kind of nice floodgate / negation to start out to make your plays. But I find that Thousand Eyes Restrict, since this is kind of a going second variant-ish, Thousand Eyes Restrict just comes up a little bit more. So, but anyways, that's it for the main deck. Extra deck, Spirit, Blue Spirit. I don't find myself ever really tagging out with him and winning after I do the tag out, and I really don't have a lot of extra deck space for everything that I'm trying to use. So there again, I think the 2 obvious targets are like Black Rose Moonlight Dragon and Azure Eyes. Azure Eyes, I feel like you pretty much already lose if you're going into that, because it's not really that hard of a wall to get over. And then Black Rose Moonlight, I mean, yeah, it's a good response, but I mean, if your opponent can play around that response, then it just isn't really much help and gets destroyed at the end of the turn anyway. So that's why I just stick to the 1 Spirit. He slows down pendulums, slows down graveyard decks, just really good in general anyway. So 1 Spirit, 1000 Eyes Restrict, as I kind of explained, and then 1 Blue Twin Burst Dragon. I still think that he's a really good monster removal. Can't be destroyed by battle, can attack twice, and then if the card that he attacked isn't destroyed by battle, you just banish it. So it's like, I mean, he's really good. He can also get over the new Dark Magician fusion that's coming out. So kind of keep that in mind if you bait out the effect negation first. The Invoked ratio, the fusions, 2 Chupacabra and 1 Purgatrio. I love this ratio. I don't want to change anything about this ratio, really. I've never found myself to need more than 2 Chupacabra and 1 Purgatrio. The only other thing that I've come into a little bit is like with the Mermails and Paleozoics and stuff like that. You could put the water fusion in, or you could side deck it. But ultimately, I don't really need it as much. And games just don't last long enough for you to go through kind of more than this. I mean, they can, but it's kind of rare. And then 1 Salmon Great Almirage. You can link away, your Alistair, and then make a Purgatrio for free with this. Or, if you got a stone or something, you can make Chupacabra and then have protection. All around great card. I mean, you can make a rank 8 and have protection. I mean, it's a good card. I mean, there's nothing really else. I mean, like, and also if you brick on a stone and you have to normal summon a stone, like, that's also a starter play for it. So I would do like Relinquished Anima, or actually that's really it, because Link Karibo, in my opinion, is not very good. But the problem is, if I am going first, I'd rather have the Almirage. And then a lot of people are aware of the Relinquished card, so they just don't play, they play around it basically. So that's why I choose Almirage. And then Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. To be honest, in my opinion, he's like Chaos Max on steroids, without having to clog up your deck with all the ritual stuff. And he's just really good. So if you can definitely get him, I would recommend him highly. He's flat out just won me the games. He's got a little bit more protection than Chaos Max, and then he's also, he's got 3 other effects, or 3 effects that outdo Chaos Max, in my opinion, a little bit. So and then 1 Skull Dread. I think he's kind of standard anymore. He's just really powerful, unbricks your hands, special summons monsters, increases their attack. He's kind of the perfect, extender / the keep going card, the card that says, hey, I'm gonna do a lot more than just what I just did. So I definitely recommend 1 of him. Dingirsu, he is another protection slash monster removal, you know, or actually any card removal. It's not even specifically monsters, but he does not target when he sends a card to the graveyard, and that comes up a lot. And then also his protection effect, if you can make him with your instant fusion, you know, you can sit on Thousand Eyes Restrict if you need to, or you know, you can protect your invoked monsters, anything really. I mean, anything you make, he's just kind of an extender slash protector. So and then Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, he is my answer to the 5-God Link Dragon, and several other monsters. Sometimes you just need that extra beat stick, high attack power to get over stuff. So that's why he's in here. And then also the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. I needed a rank 8 that negates monster effects, and then also he searches the Galaxy Soldiers, so he's kind of multi-purpose. You could take him out for something else. He'd be probably the first choice out of everything for me if I were to switch up to something else. But so far he's working pretty well. And then Hope Harbinger, I feel like he's pretty standard in any deck that can make a rank 8. Honestly, I think he's pretty standard. So, you know, negates spell effects, redirects attacks towards him. You know, you can protect him with Return of the Dragon Lords. You can reborn him with Legionnaire, or, you know, anything really. So, that's why he's kind of in here. And then obviously the Cyber Dragon Infinity package. Probably honestly my favorite Link monster, XYZ monster of all time. Negates stuff, sucks up monsters, gains attack. You know, monster reborn target, Chaos Dragon, Legionnaire target. I can't tell you how many times I've reborn this off of Legionnaire and then took a problematic monster and then turned around and negated something and just won because of that. So definitely worth it. So, and then moving on to side deck, it's all up to personal preference, but I play 3 Nibiru and then 3 of the Gamma Seal. These kind of go hand in hand if you're playing a heavy combo deck. And then I'll just include this too, the Dark Ruler no more. These kind of go hand in hand. I usually side in, you know, 6, and then I just choose 3 of one of these depending on what I'm going against. If you're facing a deck where you just really want to see all these, I mean, you know, great. I feel like this deck struggles with back row decks and then like super heavy combo decks that like bust out a really huge board, like a huge board of negates. So that's why this gets over the Dark Magician fusion that's coming out, gets over Appaloosa, and gets over a lot of problematic stuff. Same with Dark Ruler no more, so that's kind of why they go hand in hand. Nibiru, you know, if you're playing a deck that like guard dragons or something, to where like they have to build up to their good board, you know, you can pretty much, you know, slow them way down with this, and then just finish it off with, you know, whatever you got in your hand, usually. And then for the back row decks, or pendulum decks even, I play Anti-Spell Fragrance and Real Decree. Real Decree comes up a lot with like Altergeist and heavy trap decks in general, really. There's a lot of them running around, Paleozoics, all kinds of stuff. So I still think Real Decree is, you know, reliable. Red Reboot, especially since Red Reboot got hit to 1, you know, I like Real Decree enough. It just shuts down everything, and then you got your 2 Twin Twisters up here to combo off with any of these back row decks or other sides. And you can always switch out like the Raigeki for a 3rd Twin Twisters if you feel like you need more, or anything like that. So, but anyways guys, that's pretty much how I'm playing the deck. I will go ahead and do a duel video for you. I might even play 2 games if I can get into one here, just to kind of show you, like, you know, how I would play whatever hand I get, and you know, so that way you guys can kind of see a demonstration. Ultimately, it all depends on, you know, how it's going to go. You know, what you're playing against, as to how you react and how you play certain cards. But yeah, we'll see what happens here, and hopefully we get something good to go against. And if you're the player that's playing this video, good luck, have fun, and let's see who wins. So not a bad opening, not the greatest, but not terrible. So we'll just see. Let's see. What are you playing? You got 1-for-1. DD dice. Okay, so if we're playing DDs. Okay. So this could get kind of dicey. Let's see. Okay, so what are we going to do? Alright, start game travel. So yeah, so I think what I'll probably, I mean obviously I'll probably start off with like the terraforming and see what happens. You know, terraforming is pretty much the full invoked combo at this point, and I can do whatever I want to do with the white stone. But I do have a danger to hopefully start my plays off if this fails, and then you know, if all else fails I can just normal summon the white stone and summon the alternative. So I've got a few options. It just really, like I said, depends on what he's going to end a board with here. So okay, so he's already got a negate, so okay. So I think we can play around this pretty sufficiently. So we'll start off with terraforming. And is he gonna negate? No. Alright, so he'll probably negate it after I play it. So we'll play Magical Meltdown. No? You don't let that go through? Okay. So that, at that point, we're kind of safe because the field spell protects us anyway, unless he's gonna, you know, render both useless. So I don't know. We shall see. So we'll go into Almirage with the invoke or Alistair, and then we'll go into Invocation here. And so he's gonna negate that, but my meltdown. Okay, no, that works because he negates it while it's on. He's not negating the effect, but okay, I see you. So now we'll just start comboing off with dangers and hopefully pop the stone, which, there you go. That's kind of why I don't like Chupacabra right there. But okay, so now we went into Jackalope. Oh, we got the blue eyes anyway. So now I'm going to pop, let's see, I'm going to pop this card. And now we're going to go into the Blackluster Soldier. We're just going to beat his face in. See, and then at this point, I think I'm just going to banish. I probably should gain 1500 attack, but I'm going to banish this Synchro Monster. And then, yeah, we'll end our turn there. And so, not terrible. I probably realistically should have just increased his attack first so that he'd have a hard time getting over it, but you know, and like I said, this really isn't like the greatest start for a hand, but I mean, you're still slapping a Blackluster Soldier on board with protection, 3000 attack, so I mean, he's gonna have to use probably quite a bit of his resources, if not all of his resources, just to get over it. So and then hopefully you can draw on something to follow up at this point. So let's see what he can do. And I don't think I've ever actually summoned this card without protection. Like, it just doesn't. I'm sure it's possible. Like, if I was going on my way to play it without protection, I probably could, but like, I never have that happen. Like, it just always has protection. So that's kind of one of the things I like about the deck too. It does it really, really well. So okay, and And I'm not like super familiar with DDDs, so I'm just kind of like sitting here like, okay, do whatever you're gonna do, and then I'm gonna respond however I'm gonna respond. So. And obviously, I mean, there's different things that we could have done with the hand that I had. So, I mean, realistically, I could have started off with dangers instead, and then, tried to go for the Alistair play later on. Some of this is up to chance. Some of this is up to, like I said, just what situation you're in. But there again, I really like this deck because I'm not focused purely on the meta with it. I mean, I want you to be able to like sit down with this deck and say, okay, whatever you're playing against, I should have some sort of out to whatever you're doing, and hopefully do it somewhat consistently. So that's kind of what I'm after. Just because I feel like you need to be versatile. So that's just kind of what I'm trying to do with the deck. And I know a lot of people don't like dangers as well, but they help so much, like consistency wise. So that's just kind of why I play them. But yeah, so he got over the Blackluster Soldier. So honestly, like right now, it's looking pretty scary. Like, but then again, if you think about it too, we only have to do 3,000 damage, so that's not a lot of damage to try to pump out. Okay, so we got the Alistair. So let's see. So he can once per turn detach, destroy. Okay, so we might be okay here because I can do this. Oh, he's gonna call by the grave. Okay, well that sucks. Oh, okay, yeah, I can do this. And that's all we can do. So, he's got this one. Just because he had the called by the grave. But yeah, so anyways, so I'm just going to end this myself. Because obviously we don't have a way out at this point. But yeah, let me know. I might try to do another duel here real quick. Just to show you guys. And then obviously at this point, you could have sided in like the Kaijus or Nibirus, or the Dark Ruler No Mores if you needed to, and then just kind of went from there. In that particular version or duel, I probably would have sided in probably Nibiru and Dark Ruler No More, just because I feel like the deck special summons a lot to get to where it wants to go. So, but kind of up to you. And then, so this time we're going first. There again, also not a bad hand. I don't want to overextend on this hand, so I'll probably just start off with the Alistair and see what happens. So at this point, I don't think he's really got a hand trap, so I'll just go into Almirage. And then I will actually just... Oh, let's see what we're going to do here. So Invocation. Oh, he's going to DD Crow. At that point, we don't need to do any of that. So I'll just go ahead and shuffle him back in. And then, at this point, I will just set Twin Twisters and pass. Because I still don't really know what he's playing at this point. So, let's see what he's going to play. Okay, alright. I think I can deal with this. So right now I'm kind of glad I played the Twin Twisters. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do this. Go ahead and get Orochi. Ooh, he had to call by the grave. Okay, so he had the response for that. We'll have to look and see what we banished. So let's see what we can do here. What did we banish? So far, yeah, nothing really too major. I mean, we really didn't even, nothing like super severe. Like everything in the banished zone right now isn't really too big a deal. So I will start off with Alistair and search, maybe. Hey. Alright, so then we're going to set the invocation. And then we're going to start activating some dangers. See what happens here. Okay. Activate Jackalope. Okay. And then, what do we got here? So I can make the Blackluster Soldier, which wouldn't be bad. But I don't know. I almost, yeah, because I can go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So we'll do the Blackluster Soldier here. And then we can fusion summon the Chupacabra here, which should work pretty well. So now we've got a monster negate. You know, we can add 1,000 attack with Alistair because that's coming back to our hand. Yeah, and I can just negate your effect and banish you. So that just helps me right now, actually. So yeah, this is looking pretty good right now. So we're gonna attack to get rid of that and get his effect off. And we're gonna go ahead and gain 1,500 attack, so it is pretty much a boss monster from here on out. And we've got the Chupacabra, and we just sit here and see what happens next. I think that'll work good though. I don't know. He's got 2 cards in hand. We've got 2 cards in hand. Yep. So there's the surrender. So there's kind of a win-loss, thing going on there. There again, it just all depends on what deck you play, what situation you're in. I still don't think, if we were playing a match, I think the previous deck we could have beaten. But there again, it all just depends. So. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. That was just kind of like some combos that I like to do with the deck, and obviously there's so many more. So I'll try to post more videos on this if you guys like that, and then also I'll be doing some of the other decks that I've profiled. So stay tuned for all that, and then like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, dislike, leave any feedback at all. That'd be great. And hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.